Hello everyone, this is Shaz from ChaiWithShaz. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We do this to try and provide a platform for unsung talent, unsung heroes to listen and see. Oh, got a like straight away. That just means it's working, which is brilliant. We've got a special guest from across the pond. I'm going to play another clip now before I go into it. So here we go. Wow, I can keep watching that. And, you know, it's just fantastic every time. It's a superhero in the making, for sure. I'm going to bring Simi in now, and we'll be able to get to meet her and talk to her. So here we go. Let's see how this goes. Hey, how you doing, Simi?
Good, good. Thank you. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. I'm absolutely honoured to have you on the ChaiWithShaz today.
I'm so grateful and I'm so honored that you asked me to be a guest.
So where are you today?
I like to acknowledge that I'm on the unceded and First Nations Coast Salish territories. I'm in Delta, Canada, BC.
Yes, and someone's already taken the mick out of me already for messing up times and stuff, so I'll pick that up on them. And that was a...
I'll own that. That one might be my fault, everybody. I know I said COVID couldn't stop this conversation. However, apparently internet can. I have no internet or TV services. I have had no services for the last 48 hours. I'm graciously at my sister's house in her office. She's sequestered, so that's on me, guys.
Wow, having no internet's like having no electric.
Right? Luckily, I grew up in, you know, I'm older than I look, luckily, and I have a DVD player and I like to read, so it's kept me occupied.
If the DVD player works, you know what? To be honest with you, that's just saying something. You've got something. That's what you call resiliency.
Right. Yeah. You know you're old when you still have a working DVD player and DVDs.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I've actually got some VHSs here somewhere, but I'm not going to pull them out. But there's some clips on here that we're going to come to. So, Simi, tell us. So, what do you do, or what were you doing before COVID-19 hit?
Well, I was doing a lot of stand-up, obviously. I do have a real job. I'm Indian, so you know we have to have a real job. You can't just be a clown on stage all day long, right? You know, my parents worked very hard to put me through university, so I couldn't just go on stage and say F words all day long. Yeah, I do have a real job. I work in education. I was teaching before COVID happened, but I've moved into an advisor position. So I'm in higher education. And so that's what I was doing and what I'm doing outside of comedy.
So, I mean, I've seen some kind of farmer protest type stuff and posts and all that. So I assume your dad's from the Punjab, and I mean, being a Punjabi myself, and I see. How was your dad when you first told him you're going to go on stage and you want to perform stand up? What was his reaction?
My dad probably took it maybe the hardest. I think he's actually been a huge fan of comedy his whole life, and I remember being at like maybe 15 or 16, like super young, when I was saying goodnight to my parents one time, and I was, you know, joking around with them, and he was like, "Oh, Simi, you're like the female junior Peter Russell," and my mom was like, "Oh, old man, it's Russell Peters." So, I wasn't thinking about comedy at all at that time in my life. I was doing totally different entertainment stuff. So, you know, I've really held on to that and remembered that. But my dad, he probably struggles with it a little bit more, but they're very supportive nonetheless. They just want to make sure that I'm true to myself.
That's amazing. So to Simi's parents, you know, give a thumbs up, all on. Keep supporting her. She'll be absolutely amazing, and I'm sure superstar in the making. Let's kind of take it back a little bit. So I mean, growing up, then what was going on in Simi's life growing up? So as a young girl, Simi, did you ever see yourself going into stand-up comedy and education? What were you doing when you were younger?
I did see myself going into entertainment for sure. It's been a big part of my life since I was really young. I've been dancing my whole life, singing, acting. I've been a huge fan of comedy my whole life, and I always thought, wow, that's amazing. But I didn't start thinking about it until I went through some major things in my own life. So that came much later. But entertainment in itself was a big part of my life, and so that was really always encouraged by my parents. I was really grateful to have that support from my parents.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up some images now. We're going to have a look at some of them, and you're going to have to describe them to me because I'm looking. I'm trying to work out what you're doing. So
Sure.
I'm going to bring them up, and we're going to play a little game, and we'll come on to the fact that you was actually into sports and playing football, soccer.
I did, yeah.
We'll come on to that in a second, but let's go. Let me just bring up hopefully some images on here. Hopefully it works. Tell me if you see it. If you don't, then I'll have to try something different. 1 second. Oh. Can you see little Simi?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first year playing soccer. I was 5 years old there, and I was on an all boys team. There was only like, I think maybe 3 girls in the district, and we kind of got spread out between all the boys teams that were in our age group.
Can I just ask you something? With those socks on, right? Those socks look massive on your feet. What? I mean, are they boots? What are they? It's
no, there's shin pads underneath the socks.
Oh, is that what they are? They look like triple padding all the way around.
I was very small.
Yeah. So you borrowed someone. They're clearly those shin pads.
No, those were supposed to be the right size for me.
Okay, I'm going to let you off there, right? And then you've got knee injury as well already.
I had fallen. I actually remember that I had fallen off the bike.
Right. Okay. No. Well, you know what? That's a fantastic picture. And to be honest,
the soccer knee injuries came later.
Yeah. Right. So you also was a goalkeeper. Which one's you?
That's me in the yellow. I played up until varsity soccer, so I played at university level, and I played keeper and forward generally. I did play a little midfielder, never really cared for it, but I played keeper a lot in university. So yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna play a video, right, of me playing football, and I want you to tell me. I've scored a goal, and I want to tell me if you think you can save it, right? So let me just play it to you. And see if you can. This is a long time ago, right? I can't walk in a straight line anymore. So football, PlayStation, I'll play it, but other than that, no chance. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see if I can. Oh, can you see it?
Oh yeah, no problem. Oh, that's a pretty good one. I think I could have had a shot at it though.
You reckon? Oh, okay. Well, no, that's that. I'm going to go back onto your feet. Score out of 5. What do you reckon?
That your shot. Yeah. 5 for sure. No,
you know what? That's what I was asking for. You got I see you got another like from me. So this picture here, this is another one. How old was you here?
I was 4 there. I started figure skating as well. I figure skated. I did ringette, hockey. I was very into sports. My parents really encouraged sports and education. For me and my siblings, we were very involved and active. So yeah, that was I was 4 there, and that was after a figure skating recital.
What's figure skating? Explain it to me. What is it?
Figure skating, it's I guess because in the UK maybe not so popular. In Canada, we're all about ice sports, so it's like dancing on ice essentially.
Right, but to be honest, when I saw that picture, I thought it was like a stage show or something from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I thought maybe she's acting here. So okay, so there
was some baton twirling with that one.
Oh no. Okay, so you was obviously into sports and stuff, and then you went into you were talked about your dancing stuff. So let's go through a couple of dancing pictures here. What's going on here then? What sort of dancing is this?
Yeah, that was at the Valley Mila. So there was like a festival that would happen like in the town that I grew up in. All the surrounding towns within like our province used to come and perform, and like even major artists would attend. So it was a pretty big deal, and I often performed either dance or singing and or both. So yeah, that's one of those.
Amazing.
I think I was maybe 9 or 10 there.
Yeah, well, you know what? These pictures aren't going to be in order, so we'll have to just go up and
Yeah,
down in age,
yeah,
right? So,
there's definitely.
there's two here. I got no idea what you're doing there, but it feels like it's the same as this.
Yeah, I'm
Just
dancing in that as well. Yeah, and I'm probably I think 16 there. I think.
yeah, but shouldn't you have bangles the way you're doing this?
I should. I might have some. I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah. So I'm like, she's banging her wrists together, or your hands are tied together, but clearly they're not because the next picture shows me they're away. And this is a bit like this. This feels like the Sean Paul's just kicked in.
I know. I
She's
have
one,
so much attitude on my face, right? Like
exactly.
I should be happier. I'm dancing. I don't know what's going on there.
No, it looks absolutely fantastic. Absolutely amazing. And then there's something here that you're doing here, which is
Yeah, I'm singing there, and that was an event I was singing for. I sang a couple songs. I sang one in Hindi there and one in English, so that's why I was wearing the sari.
amazing.
I think I was probably about 17 there.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, how did I mean? Clearly, at a young age, you've been performing on stage. You've done sport. You've been quite active, and you know, singing in front of so many people at 17. I mean, to be honest, I think I sang at a pantomime, and everybody had their hands over their ears. So you know, it doesn't come easy, right? You got to think about it. Where did you train? Where did you learn? How did you get into it?
You know, the singing thing, I think I'm very grateful. It's something that definitely came naturally.
Yeah.
I've been singing since I was very young. I started performing at a really young age with singing. I think the first time I sang on stage, I was probably about 8 or 9 during a school play. And then when I was 12, I sang Cranberries Zombie and our national anthem for our Remembrance Day assembly, and it was for our entire school. And after that, like all our school stuff kind of just kind of took off, and then I started getting into it a little bit more myself. So I did a lot of things around the city, around our neighboring cities. My parents started really supporting me. I had a local around this age time of the picture that you're showing. I actually came out and in the city that I'm in now, I met with a radio host whose name is Ashiana. She's a very major host out here. And she was with a radio station at the time, and she had me on her station for about 2 hours singing live different songs. And then she connected me with a music company, production company called Music Waves. I worked with them for many years. I worked with different artists like Laquinder Wadali, Nishithar Gill. I sang background for them oftentimes when they did like shows that came through our neighboring towns. They asked me like to work on an album with them, but I ended up having some issues with them, and then I moved on to Planet Records, and they wanted me to. By the time I was moving on with them, I was actually in university, and they wanted me to stop going to university. They were like, quit school, train with us for 6 months, and then we'll release your album and you can promote it, etc. But I didn't feel like giving up school was the appropriate thing to do. And so I continued on my own path. And then I actually reached out to Music Waves many years later, but I had, you and I have shared privately, and we'll get through later, I had been through some other things, and when I went back to them, they said, yes, we would love to release an album with you. You just have to lose some weight.
Oh gosh, it's a whole waiting game.
So, you know, yeah, I've run into obstacles. It's never been about my talent. It's been about other things.
Challenges, yeah. No, we'll come on to some of that stuff as well in a few minutes. But I am going to ask you to sing to us, Simi. Right, so,
I will, sure.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you to sing us just something short, something that you want to see, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Sure.
Because clearly, you know, you're a talent, and we shouldn't hide your talent. So, what do you think? Maybe have a think for a few minutes of what you might want to sing, and then we'll go through this, and then I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So let's carry on from here. Okay, so there's another picture here. Oh, I think I see you.
Yeah, I was 15 here. This is 1999, I think. I was in Japan. Yeah. And I got kind of put on the spot because I went on a student exchange trip to Japan, and they knew that I could sing, and so there was a pretty big event that they were having, and there was one other girl that was singing, and then she was like, you gotta sing too, we need someone else to do something. And so that's why I don't look exactly presentable to be an entertainer there that evening, but there I was singing Monica's I think I sang Angel of Mine, and first night I think I did 2 songs.
So when I first saw this picture, right, the first thing I was looking at is the people behind you, and I thought either Canada's got a lot of Chinese, Japanese people in it, right, or this picture's been cropped into a postcard or something. But clearly now you just explained you're in Japan.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so you've obviously sang. And how did the Japanese take your singing?
It was really funny because it was received really well. But I remember, I think about this now because I remember then all my peers and everyone were saying things like, oh, there was like, at least 1,000 people there. There was like maybe like 100, 150 people.
Well, I bet it feels like 1,000 people though, doesn't it?
When you're younger, it just seems different, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, I mean, clearly you've got a lot of experience being on stage and seeing actors' performance and all this. I'm going to show you a performance on myself acting, right?
Okay, yes.
And I just want you to give me. I want you to judge me out of 5, right? And bear in mind, I was a footballer, and apparently I fell quite a bit. I was quite quick, so people used to take my legs, and apparently I used to roll and dive. But I blame it on the fact that I learned it at a young age, right? And I think I'm maybe a bit of an actor, so. I didn't make it on the big scene yet, but maybe there's still a chance for me. So are you ready for this? Yes. Sorry for the people that are in this that shouldn't be in this. I don't really care, but you're in it. But let's see what this looks like. Clearly, I did that on purpose, right?
I was gonna say. So, are you sure that was acting?
Well, clearly, I done that on purpose. So I made it look so well that the back nearly came up and hit me in my face.
If that was your acting, especially then, I think you deserve an Oscar. You should be blowing these people out of the water right now, okay?
It was on VHS, right? What I should have done is sent it to one of those TV programs.
The funniest home videos. You could still send it in. I think that's still worth it.
I would have got £200, $200 or £200 or $250, and that would have been. No, clearly, I picked that up and I thought, you know what, that just takes me back because as you were searching some pictures, I started looking at them for myself. I thought, okay, let's see what I've got in my backlog. But yeah, clearly, my football skills came from that drop. And then, for all those people that say I dive in football, you're probably right. Okay, so let's now go back to Simi. What are you going to sing for us?
Oh, that was fast.
Very fast, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll sing you something.
Can we just see what you've got in our cup? You've got no there's no alcohol in there or shandy.
No alcohol. No alcohol. Yeah, you came back to that really quickly.
Do you want to wait for a bit?
No, I got it.
You got it, yeah. I'm going to go off for a second, and you're on your solo.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I've done the wrong thing, man. 1 second. Oh, where are we? Hey, what have I done? I can only see myself, which isn't great. There you go. There you're there. Let's try this. Come on then, Simi.
Enakiaj Baba Kimi Kajalavi. Sorry, a little nervous.
It's all right.
Literally, just give me 1 second.
No problem.
Jado Hasadi, Bulika Menu Pindavi, Tasya Chitu Hasada. Enakiyaj, Baba Kivi Kajalavi, Akiyaj Chitu Hasada. Is that good?
That was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Okay.
Wow. I'm so sorry for putting you on the spot. I feel so bad now for putting you on the spot.
Needed like a little bit of prep there.
I know. I shouldn't have just surprised you like that. I'm so sorry. But you know what? That was absolutely wonderful. You clearly got a lot of talent, right? I was going to join in with some remix and some like, but then I thought I might ruin the song, so I'm not going to clearly do that. Yeah, I can't rap. I can't sing. I probably would have just banged the tables or something with you. But thank you very much for that, Simi.
No.
We're gonna go into now. You know, some of the stuff that you came through. So we touched on the football originally. We talked about some of the injuries and stuff that you kind of went through at young age. And what was going on when you was playing soccer? How did you get out of soccer?
I got out of soccer because I was playing in a summer league in between like university, and I was body checked on the field, like 30 seconds on the field, going up the wing, and I got body checked, and the girl dislocated my knee from my tibia and my fibula, everything disintegrated, ACL, MCL, PCL gone. So yeah, that was over. I had to have surgery, repair, all that. Yeah.
How old was you?
I was 23. At the time I was considering going into policing, so I had to withdraw my policing application and kind of redirect my career aspirations in regards to what I was going to do next. And yeah.
Wow. So you straight away. And was that the first sort of kind of major setback in your life at that age, or was there some stuff? There wasn't. So let's go back. What was that first major setback then in the beginning?
The first, I won't say it was the first major one, but physically, I had been through a couple of different things, but closer to that same time period. So that knee injury happened 2007. And so 2005, I was in a pretty major car accident. And 2006, I was in another major car accident. And in that one, I actually had some significant, in both I had like head injuries, but in the second one, the head injury was pretty significant. So I had some memory loss, and I struggled with, and just because I'm nervous now, I'm doing this, but I struggled with my words, and I had really a difficult time with my shoulder, and all sorts of different things I had to deal with. But I came back from all that stuff, so I had a really tough time for a couple of years, and then everything was okay.
What was it like? I mean, you've literally, I mean, you've had a car accident. You've been involved in a car accident 1 year. You've had another car accident a year after. I mean, how was that? I mean, kind of clearly mental impacting from a mental health perspective. Back then, mental health wasn't a thing as it is today.
No,
right?
It wasn't.
How to deal with it? I mean,
it wasn't, and I can't say I had the best support in regards to medically. I didn't have the best support, and I really rushed going back to school, and that really made things a little bit more difficult to get through, because instead of actually just dealing with the issues that I had, I just kind of compounded things a little bit. So instead of having a bit of a smooth transition, I had a harder time actually getting through all the things I was trying to get through. So things took a little bit longer for me. But once I was able to get through them, it was fine. But that first little period, because it was like 2005, 2006, then knee injury 2007, and then I had to kind of wait for that, like, you know, the surgery for the knee injury. So there was all these sorts of things that kind of happened. And you're right, mental health does take a toll in that. And then you have other things that impact that, because then it's not just your physical health and what you can and cannot do. It's the choices that you're making, you know, how it's impacting your personal life, et cetera, et cetera. So there's all sorts of things that kind of start to impact that, right? So I then wasn't singing, I wasn't dancing because I couldn't, and I lost that creative side of me. So there was a real shift in my personality for a period of time, for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I can't actually imagine, because I can, you know, I can only think how difficult that would have been at the time. And you know, it's you're right. It's life change. It's life impacting and life changing, because you've got to make decisions on what you're doing and where you're going, and to pull out of policing. And if that's what you wanted to go into, and you've had to make a decision to pull out to do something different, I assume that period was felt like just a whole heap of bad luck, or I don't know. I mean, what were people saying? What was the family saying?
I did, you know, and I think the Indian community kind of gets like that, like, oh, you know, kudi de Guerrera, yeah, right? Like they always feel like, oh, you have such bad luck. And it's not just the Indian community, because even my own friends and regular people would say, like, oh, I don't want to get in a car with you. You've bad luck, or I don't want to, you know, oh, you got another car accident. And just for the record, none of these car accidents were my fault. I literally was an innocent bystander. I was at a stop sign at a, you know, and I got in a car accident. So, I mean, yeah, it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. This story about car accidents doesn't end here, does it?
It doesn't.
It doesn't end here. And, you know, you've been in a total of how many car accidents?
8.
So you've had 8 car accidents in a period of what?
The period is big, but from the time of at least 2005 to 2018, most of them took place then.
So throwing in a bit of a joke here, right? Because I don't upset you, right? So did the hospital take a liking into? I mean, it feels like there's something going on here. I mean, I take it the hospital.
They were the only action I was getting.
They all knew you. I was going to say they all knew you.
Yeah, I was on a first name basis with the doctors. Yeah, you know, the nurses were my friends. No, I'm joking. It was, but you know, it was a little awkward for sure.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way: being at that age, being in an injury, 2 car accidents at the age of 23. I mean, that's your social. That's kind of your way your social life is kind of kicking up and kicking going, and you know, going out, you're meeting and all that, and then you get a pause in your life, which is really, you know, it's impacting. And I'm sure people resonate, and there'll be other people that have gone through similar things, maybe not car accidents, but actually had a pause in their life. What was going through your mind at the time, and how was you reflecting on things? I mean, we talked about mental health. Where did you think you was going to go after here at 23? Because at 23, some women are looking to find a person to settle down with, right? Yeah. You know, and what was going through your head at the time around that?
Yeah, that probably was going through my head at the time. I you know, I did have those thoughts for sure. I have to say, I'm so glad I didn't. I'm very independent. I've done a lot of different things. You know, I live on my own. I have my own place. You know, I work and I take care of myself, and I try and take care of others as best I can. And yeah, I can't say that I would make any changes into what has happened. Of course, you know, I think people just take different paths. So that is just what it is.
Yeah. So what happened after then? Where did you go? What happened when you came back from the injury? So you fought back, you came back.
Yeah.
Then what happened? I mean, was there another stumbling block? Was there another blocker?
There was. Yeah. So the last major one was 2011. So I had a pretty major car accident in 2011. Lots of physical injuries, and that one kind of led to more PTSD. So I had broken bones from like head to toe, and internal injuries. And so yeah, the PTSD from that one, because there had been so many car accidents at that point, it had got pretty challenging, and so I had to kind of like learn how to get into a vehicle again, and even just want to be able to drive. But that's actually what led to comedy. My writing at that point, I've been writing my whole life, so like since I can remember, I've been writing poetry or writing songs or something. And so my writing had started to get a little bit dark around that time. And all of a sudden I just started thinking like I should change the directive and the tone of my writing. And I started writing jokes about the stuff that I was going through. I started writing jokes about being in the doctor's office or getting in car accidents. And then I looked into, how to get involved in the comedy community out here. And there were 2 different types of workshops. I took one, and the next thing I knew, I was headlining my first onstage event, like from our class, at the Yuck Yucks here locally, and that was that.
Sorry, the Yuck Yuck.
Yuck Yucks, yes.
Is that what's the Yuck Yuck?
It's a pretty big comedy club out here.
Okay, that's fine. I was gonna, no, perfect. So that's how you got into comedy. So you've gone through your dark period. You started writing. You start turning it into something kind of that humorous to make it laugh and make people laugh. And when was the first time? Okay, so I assume you have like Punjabis and Asians, right? They have massive family gatherings.
Yes.
Right? Do you get put on the spot to tell everyone a joke?
Always, yeah. Even when I was a kid, like when I can remember being like, honestly, like 6, 7, my parents would call me into the living room when they had family friends over and just be like, Simi, come here, do that thing you were doing the other day. I've always been the class clown. I've always been the one who's making jokes, especially if I'm comfortable around you, or if I have a stage. It's only those 2 things, because I can be a little bit reserved, but if I'm comfortable or if I have a stage and a mic, just give me an opportunity.
Yeah. To be honest, with the talents that you've got, I mean, every wedding party you'll be on stage with a mic, not to sing. Also, you've got the dancing, and then the comedy as well. You've got the whole package there.
Pretty much, I was everyone's entertainment through all the family gatherings, all the family friends. It's a lot.
What you need to do, right? You need to hire somebody to go do a collection whilst you're doing it. Just get the money in from everybody. Yeah, so you get paid for it.
Yeah, that's right.
I can imagine. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Yeah. So now you've obviously got into comedy, okay, and you're on stage. How's things like now? I mean, any further setbacks after once you got into comedy and try and take that route?
No, I can't say so. Everyone's been really great. The comedy community out here has been super supportive of me. Things really took off for me pretty quickly after the first few months. The people that I've been connected with have been amazing to me. I have been pretty heavily connected in certain circuits. I do the casino circuit out here pretty heavily. A lot of the private shows, and so I think things are really good. I just love making people laugh. When I first started out, I probably did things a little bit more that I had been trained to do. I was a bit more scripted. I rehearsed a little bit more. Now I'm a bit more free flowing. I know where my jokes are. I know what to say. I know what to hit, and I kind of just like to wing it and have some fun with the crowd.
That's what you do. Yeah. Are you what sort of comedian are you then? Are you the Paul Chowdhury one that just swears at everybody, or like because everybody's a David, or everyone's he's got this new. I won't use the word just in case any kids are on here or family, but it's all aggressive and potty mouth is the word I'll use, versus telling a comedy kind of story. Like Russell Peters, he takes the mick out of anybody and everybody, but not necessarily people in the crowd.
Yeah. I don't discriminate against anybody. I'll say that. If you say something and I can pull out of it, I will. My comedy style is probably I try to make it relatable, whether it is sometimes a little bit potty mouth, it happens, it does. When people ask me to do clean comedy, I can give you clean comedy. I try to do things that I know that I feel are going to be authentic and natural to talk about for me. So whatever I'm talking about, I want to make sure that it's going to be funny for the crowd and they're going to understand it, but that I can say because it's coming from a natural place.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And sometimes that telling a story and educating people is what people use it. And, you know, whether it's politics, whether it's backgrounds, whether it's heritage, culture, they're trying to bring it all into the comedy. I love comedy, right? I love watching stand-up. I went to see Kevin Hart, and I don't know if I remember, I think I mentioned it to you. I've watched his pre-word stuff, and then I saw him live, and I didn't get the same vibe from him.
Right.
If I go see Russell Peters, the same, right? We're right in the beginning, Russell, whatever you want to call him, or your dad will call him Peter Russells. I'll call him Peter Russells now because your dad calls him Peter. And hopefully this will get out to Peter Russell.
So funny.
And then, but yeah, I mean, he was absolutely funny right in the beginning. But now when I watch it, I'm a bit like, you know what? I've heard it before, and it's very difficult to keep that going, right? It's
right.
How do you keep creating material that's going to make people laugh? You know, it must be difficult.
It is for sure. I think, you know, and I think that is you have to consistently be fresh because people don't want to hear the old jokes over and over and over again.
No, exactly. Yeah. Well, this is why they don't let you take a camera in, or they confiscate it for you. Right. You walk in, right, just in case you give their joke away that's not funny enough, isn't it?
Right. That's right.
God, yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to pause for a second because I've got a little bit of a quiz for you.
Okay.
My comments are coming from wherever, so I think there's comments that we're not seeing because I'm broadcasting to several different places. It's not a problem. We'll just have to, after the broadcast, we might have to go back and reply to the comments. Sorry, guys, if I'm getting a list of comments coming through and I've got a feeling it's not, I'm missing a lot of comments on here. We're streaming across, by the way, for everybody that's watching, we're streaming it on YouTube, on Facebook, and multiple different groups at the same time. So there's several different groups going on. So I'm sure we'll get some feedback over the next couple of days and people watching it, which is great. So how are you with your films, Simi?
I'm pretty up to date. You got to remember, I have no services, so I'm going to use that as an excuse.
Okay. The game is right. Usually I do like a preference type thing, a little game, but I'm not going to do that because of time. But I've got 5 questions for you.
Okay.
And the multiple choice, there's 3 answers. It's only one of the 3 that you've got it right. And I've kind of kept it relevant-ish. But you know what? Let's see how it goes. Have you ever watched Buddy the Elf? Christmas film.
Yes. Oh, yes. Isn't it just the elf?
Yes, it is. Yes, and he's called Buddy. Yeah, it is the elf. Yeah. So, what flavour? So, in the film, there's a scene in the film, right, and he's eating Pop-Tarts.
Yep.
Right. What flavour of Pop-Tarts does Buddy the Elf eat in his spaghetti in the film Elf? Was it strawberry? Was it chocolate? Or was it raspberry?
See, originally I was gonna say strawberry, but then I was like, is it raspberry? I would eat raspberry, but I think it's strawberry. I'm gonna go strawberry.
Okay. So what flavour? Okay, so it was chocolate.
Oh no! I watch that movie every Christmas.
I know. You know what? Everybody watches it every Christmas, but they just don't remember anything about it. Like even those little bits, right? So yeah. Okay, we're there. Okay, how are you with animated cartoons and stuff? I assume you got nieces or nephews and children.
I do have 2 nephews that are the apples in my eyes, but I'll see how I do on this one.
Okay. Have you ever seen Inside Out?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, because this is why I put this one. Okay, so what is the name of Riley's imaginary friend in Inside Out? Terry, Bing Bong, or Slinky?
Bing Bong?
Yep, it was Bing Bong. There you go, you got it right. There you go. Oh God! So because you're in Canada, right? I'm going to throw a bit of a British Canada type few questions, right, to see how it goes, right? So we'll see.
I watch a lot of British TV. I might do better on these.
Yeah. This is about Bojo. Sorry, the Prime Minister of the country of UK, Boris Johnson. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Of what origin was Boris Johnson's paternal great grandfather? Okay. Was he British? Was he Turkish? Or was he German? So what origin was Boris Johnson's paternal great grandfather? Was he British, Turkish, or German?
British.
He was Turkish.
Oh.
He was an Ottoman journalist.
I would have got it wrong either way. I was going to go German.
We'll get German anyway. Yes, yeah, no worries. Okay. All right. So listen, if you get this one wrong, right, we're hanging up.
Okay.
Okay. When is Canada's birthday?
Oh, July 1st.
I was going to say, yeah, you got it straight away. We're carrying on this interview. That was easy. Okay. What is the capital city of British Columbia? Is it Vancouver, Victoria, or Toronto?
Victoria.
Yes, you got it.
I said it before you said it.
I know you did, but you didn't let me finish, right?
Come on now.
So you got 3 out of 5, which isn't bad. You're on the scoreboard, but you're not at the top. So yeah. So yeah.
I'm not a sore loser.
Yeah. So we might have to revisit this quiz. And I tell you what, because you've got that wrong, what you're going to have to do for us is you're going to have to record as a comedy sketch and send it to us so we can play it and post it on here. I think that's what you should do. Yeah, so you can do that.
I get that you know, Shaz can't show any of my current comedy because there's during this live broadcast, just in case, you know, youngins are watching, because there's definitely some swearing in those videos.
Just bring it in, and what we'll do is we'll play it on the show. We'll have to rate it if we have to rate it. Swearing's okay, I think. I'll have to just play it at like 9 o'clock in the evening or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think we'll.
When all the children go to bed.
Yeah, no, they do that. No, absolutely. So, Simi, we got a little bit of time left. There's not that much time. So, it's 2 things. So, what's next for Simi? What's your aspirations? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be doing?
You know, I'm just open to whatever God brings me, honestly. Yeah. I love making people laugh. I hope the world opens up and that I can continue to you know, do comedy shows. Prior to COVID happening, I was intending on going out to LA and doing some shows at like the Laugh Factory and doing a little bit more stuff outside the city. So I intend to do a little bit more of that and just, you know, getting out there a bit more. I want to come to the UK and do some shows. You know, so I like being on stage. I love being on stage. I like writing. I'm really just open to whatever the world brings me.
Yeah, and we want to see a Netflix piece on you as well. That we want to see a Netflix show. So any of my friends that are on here that are directors, promoters that are going to watch this, tap Simi up, see what you've got out there, and get.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? The Netflix special.
Yeah, get her on the Netflix special. And if there's any touring going on with stand-up comedy, because everybody needs to be made laugh. There's too much going on in this world, and we need people like you. It's
devastating what's happening in the world.
Yeah, and absolutely 100%. I'm confident that you'll do phenomenal, and you know, hopefully this is the start of a new journey with no hiccups and no pushbacks. I mean,
everything's been good for the last while, and with God's grace, everything will continue to be.
Yeah. What's your following like in India?
Like my followers.
Yeah. Did you go back to India?
I went in 2013. I went. I spent New Year's there actually. So I was there for 2013, 2014. That's actually I came back is when I started comedy. Going to India, I love India. It changed my life. It really did.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
India, yeah, and yeah, I've been. Maybe, you know, I was just going to ask, have you ever performed out there?
No, I haven't. I would love to. You know, there's a lot of changes that need to happen out there. Obviously, when I say I love India, I only love parts of it right now. Right. There's a lot that needs to happen, and you know, there's the farmers' protests. We need to make sure we're protecting them and saving India. There's a lot of people that can't breathe out there, so we need to make sure we're acknowledging and doing what we can for people out there. Please, if you haven't checked that out, go check that out and support. But I would love to be able to do something out there at some point in that regard. Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, just I'm reiterating what Simi just said. For you know, prayers and thoughts out to all the people in India right now with all the stuff that's going on. You know, we take air for granted. And you know, in reality, we you know, it's a necessity of life. Without air, you don't live. And there's people struggling out there in India because of the COVID situation. Was it well organised and well managed? I don't think so. But ultimately, people are paying the price for it, and it shouldn't be the case. There's all the farmers' protests and stuff going out there as well. So I support Simi in this fact that there's loads of different things going on in the whole world. But there's been some emphasis in India, and hopefully the farmers win that kind of debate and that battle on that as well. So let's see how that all goes through. So final words, Simi. What kind of words of wisdom from Simi?
Words of wisdom, just do what makes you happy, follow your passions, and, stay strong, because even when there are challenges, you can get past it.
Yeah. Well, that's absolutely brilliant advice. I'm going to do the same. We'll take your advice for sure.
Shaz, thank you so much for having me. It's been so wonderful. I'm so grateful for being able to share part of my story and having this opportunity with you. It's been amazing.
No, thank you very much for joining me, Simi. And once again, hopefully we'll see you again soon. And we're going to be waiting for your little clip that you send across, and I can share it on the page. Hopefully we will grow. For people that are watching, please do share the video. Share our platform. This is a perfect opportunity to help inspire different people that are listening to listen to people's stories like Simi, and also give her a platform to kind of kickstart her career and move forward as she's been doing. And I'm sure COVID and everything that's going on, people have got their struggles, but she's a brilliant talent, and I'm absolutely sure that she'll do phenomenal on the big stage. So I'm going to wish you the best, Simi. You can keep in touch and look after yourself. I'm just going to take you out now.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry for rudely cutting off. I'm just out of time now. So we've got a couple of weeks off, and then we'll be back on again in next few weeks. We've actually got an actress lined up as well. We've got another director, and we've got a sports star. We've got a few people over the next couple of months lined up. For the people fasting during Ramadan, Eid's coming. Eid al-Mubarak, Ramadan Mubarak to you guys. People that are in India, like I said, we're praying that things get better for you. And for everybody that's watching, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting us.